Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on 5 tips to make your Facebook account hack-proof. This webinar will be presented by Mr. Nikhil More. Nikhil is an online marketing expert at Quick Heal Technologies Limited and has over 9 years of experience in digital marketing and a passion for technology photography. Nikhil is also a recognized expert in the internet marketing strategies for the antivirus industry. At Quick Heal, Nikhil is associated with the Cybersecurity Program, which is the company's corporate social responsibility initiative. Handing over the proceedings of this webinar to Nikhil.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's webinar on 5 tips to make your Facebook account hackproof. Today's webinar recording, as usual, would be hosted on the YouTube channel, and the presentation would be hosted on SlideShare. After this webinar, which would last for approximately 30 minutes, we would have a question and answer session in which we would try and answer your questions as far as possible. In case you have any questions for later, you can definitely write to us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in, and we will do our best to answer your questions then. Uh, so without any further ado, let's begin with today's webinar. So just to begin with, a fact that a lot of people would not know about what happens with Facebook accounts and what do cyber criminals have in mind when they target Facebook users. You know, it's the most popular platform. You would see in terms of population, if you look at on Facebook, it is probably in the top 5 most populated places on earth. Like if you compare population of a country, it would stand in top 3. But a very important thing to remember here is approximately 600,000 attempts are made every day to hack into Facebook account users. Now, this information was published recently in the New York Times. So you can understand what is the gravity of the situation where your Facebook account is not safe unless you take some additional steps to make sure that your account is hack proof, which means whatever information you use, not only to log in but also to you share on this social media site, uh, how does it affect other people? So let's look at what are the things that we would be covering in today's webinar. So we would discuss the most common types of social networking threats, which are the top 5 tips to make your Facebook account hack proof, and lastly, but the most important thing is how Wikil protects you from social networking threats. The most common types of social networking threats are identity theft. Now, a report from a Japan news agency detailed many scenarios wherein Facebook users are duped into surrendering personal information through fake posts like solicit likes, votes, or link clicks. Messages have been found to lead to a page that asks users for contact details like a phone number, and since these links are believed to be sent uh, from a friend, they think nothing of it and acquaintance and ending unwitting victims of identity theft. Now, identity thieves gather personal information from these social networking sites. Most social networking sites have information that is required, such as email address or a birthday, but it's common for an identity thief to hack an email account by using information. Let me explain to you using an example. The most common technique to get personal information is by clicking on the link which says forgot or forget password and trying to recover the information through email. Once the thief has an access to your email account, then he will have access to all the information on your social networking sites. The acquisition of personal identifiers is made possible through serious breaches of privacy. For consumers, this is usually a result of them naively providing their personal information or login credentials to the identity thief as a result of being duped by identity related documents such as credit cards, bank statements, utility bills, checkbooks, etc. May also be physically stolen from vehicles, homes, offices, and not at the least letterboxes or directly from victims by pickpockets and bag snatchers. Guardianships of personal identifier by consumers is the most common intervention strategy recommended by a lot of federal agencies and most that address identity theft. Identity theft can partially be mitigated by not identifying oneself unnecessarily. This implies that organizations or the information technology systems and procedures should not demand excessive amounts of personal information or credentials for identification and authentication. Requiring and storing processing personal identifiers such as your Aadhaar card number or your national identification number, or for the United States, the social security number or your driver's license number, your credit card number increases the risks of identity theft unless this valuable personal information is adequately secured at all times. Committing personal identifiers to memory is a sound practice that can reduce the risk. To help in remembering such numbers, like a credit card number, it's helpful to consider some mnemonic techniques or memory aids. What is the next one? The biggest one is after identity theft is phishing attacks. Now, phishing is defined as a fraudulent activity of acquiring private and sensitive information such as your credit card number, your personal identification and account numbers, passwords, etc. Now, how has this been executed? Just in brief, using a complex set of social net engineering techniques or computer programming expertise, a phishing website lures the email recipient or the web user in believing that the spoofed website is a legitimate or a genuine one. In reality, the victim later realizes or discovers that his personal identity or other vital information that has been stolen, or he's basically been exposed that information to the cyber criminal or the hacker. Now, Facebook users might also get an email. A lot of times we've been reported this on our blog or also on our social networking sites that they've got an email from Facebook saying that accept this user, and the email will tell the user that you need to reset your password, and it will offer you a login prompt to do so. So there will be a link in that email. You click on that link and it will take you to a page which looks like a login page for Facebook. uh, since the user is innocent, he does not know about these dangers. He clicks on that link, goes to that prompt where he's directed to the fake page, which is a lookalike of Facebook, and then he enters his username and his password. And just like any other phishing attack, the cyber criminal has succeeded in getting this information from these users, from these innocent user of Facebook, and the Facebook user has lost his login credentials to the cyber criminal who is in complete control of a Facebook account. He may post whatever he feels like, which generally is not good information and which could hamper your social reputation amongst your friends, but could also, uh, you know, pose a threat because he's got an entry to access all your friends who are on Facebook, and he might use a similar technique to hack into their account. So you have a responsibility of controlling the danger here. Moving forward, the next one is clickjack attack. Or clickjacking basically is a malicious technique of tricking a web user into clicking into something different from what the user perceives that he is clicking on, thus potentially revealing the confidential information or taking control of the computer while clicking on seemingly innocuous web pages. It is a web browser or a web security issue that is a vulnerability across a variety of web browsers and platforms. A clickjack takes the form of embedded code or a script that can execute without the user's knowledge. Such clicking on a button that appears to perform another function. The clickjack attack, or more popularly known as clickjacking, can be used to direct traffic from a specific website or to make a user to accept a Facebook application. More nefarious purposes might be to collect sensitive information saved on a browser, such as commonly this is a practice of users to save their passwords, username and passwords on web browsers. So clicking that, or some users also have a habit of saving their credit card information on the browser, thinking it's a safe place to do, which, as a matter of fact, is not. Or this is the information that has been stolen, or a malicious content, a malicious program gets installed to your browser, which basically controls whatever information that you are accessing through the information, or whatever sites that you visit. In case you are using login credentials to visit those sites, all of this is being recorded, monitored by a cyber criminal sitting thousands of miles away. On Facebook, users are tricked using psychological manipulations into clicking links that do something totally different from what the user expects them to do. This is achieved by overlaying legitimate Facebook pages with the malicious content from a third party site. For example, you may click on a button that is supposed to take you to a specific page, but instead, the same action enables or starts your web camera. So these are examples of clickjacking. The next and the most dangerous amongst the ranked fourth is the malware attack. Now you must have come across funny posts or shocking posts. Now I'm sure a lot of us have do remember the incidents that happened in New Delhi Zoo, where unfortunate person fell into the pit, which was a tiger pit, and we know what happened after that. So using this as an instance, cyber criminals create posts which they think that the users will click on, and say, for example, it's like shown like a video where they would click on it. They would put it on your page, or they would put it on a friend's Facebook profile, clicking to which will redirect you to an infected website. Simply landing on the website could be good enough for automatically installing a bad malware on. Malware is always bad. There's nothing called as a good malware, but malware which uh, which could do anything on your computer. It could steal information on your computer, which is mentioned or which is present on your computer, or it could uh, give the access control of your computer to cyber criminals who are far across, sitting thousands of miles apart, who would, with the help of internet, would be able to control your computer system. Now, earlier this year, in the month of January, it was reported that a Trojan is making its way around the most popular social network in the world, which is Facebook, and it infected close to about 110,000, so that's more than a lakh Facebook users in just 2 days. The malware spread itself like posting links on a obscene video from an account of a previously infected user. The posting generally tags no more than 20 friends to be infected. If and whenever a user opens a link which is contained in the post, the video begins to play, but it stops and it asks user to install a fake flash player application which contains a Trojan downloader, which is an actual malware. Unlike prior Facebook Trojans, that often propagates via private. Messages between friends. This one uses a similar technique. By creating malicious posts and tagging multiple users, the content is then visible not only to the users who are tagged in it, but also by their friends that they have in their profile. This allows the malware to spread like a wildfire. The next after this is fake surveys. Not all have come across this, but we have definitely been reported a lot of instances where fake survey scammers uh, lure into Facebook users and then take an advantage of their account. So, what do survey scams do? So, survey scammers typically use offers that sound too good to be true. Uh, like you may have seen updates on your friends on Facebook, or messages that your friends have sent, which promise you a free iPhone or iPhone at a drastically reduced price, which is very difficult for you to believe that is a price. It's so attractive. This is a common ploy. This is a very common thing that users do on Facebook. But as a thumb rule, I follow this, and I would like to share with you the practice that I follow. If I find an offer which is insanely attractive, then it kind of rubs in my mind that should I actually go in and believe that's true, because one thing that I believe truly is there is no free lunch in today's world. So why would somebody give you an iPhone for free, or for a price like $10 or $20 or 100 rupees? Why would somebody do that? Is a question that I ask myself all the time. Once a scammer, if you are a believer of such news, and if you think this offer is too good for you, you are a possible victim of this cyber criminal who's trying to lure you into and use you as a bait. The next step for them is to set the probable hook. In order to proceed, you are basically typically asked to install the Facebook application, some Facebook application, and then you are asked to share the link or like a page. Some of the sophisticated applications completes all this act just mentioned automatically without your intervention. The scam is often deceitful and will have code embedded that will cause you to like the scam page or spread the spam messages to your news feed or messages to your friends. Some of the scams require you to provide your name, your address, your date of birth, your mobile phone number or cell phone number, etc. This information can be used by marketers, hackers, identity thieves to wreak havoc into your personal life or your financial life. If the scam requires you to enter your cell phone, there's a good chance that you are signing up for a premium service. It is imperative that you have a close watch on your phone bills so you can contest and reverse for any bogus charges that may have levied upon you. Coming to the main aspect of today's webinar, tips to make your Facebook account hack proof. Now, this has been something that has been asked us on a very regular basis from users across the globe as to what are the steps that they should take, what are the preventive measures they should take to make their Facebook account safe and hack proof. The first thing, control who sees your timeline posts. It's a very important uh, factor that you need to consider. Now, how do you go about it? Uh, Simple. When you click on the padlock icon, you basically let me bring that up. Let me pull up my marker here. So this is basically say your home page, and this is the icon, the padlock icon we're talking about. When you click on this padlock icon, you come up to this page which says who can see my stuff. So once this is done, you click on it and then you see who can see my future post. You have options here. Who should see this publicly? Never put this if you are a person who shares a lot of personal information on social networking sites. Never put this as public. If it's something that is something that is something that is a forward or something that is being shared normally, you can possibly do it. But importantly, if you're putting up your personal opinions, your personal photographs, your things who you say loudly out loud to people, restrict it only to yourself. Or you know I've come across instances where people in the outrage, people who are dissatisfied with their friends or their colleagues or their relatives or their partners or the family members, they went out their anger on social media without realizing that the same folks are their friends on Facebook, and they are able to see whatever you post there. So if it is something private that you want to post on Facebook, just restrict that to yourself. Don't put it out in public. Moving on, the second tip is control who can get in touch with you via messages. Now, this is something very important. Uh, when you select on the padlock icon again, there's second option which says who can contact me. Now, when you click on this further, you would look at whose messages do I want filtered to my inbox. So you have two levels of settings here. You can choose who you can send messages, who can send you messages. Is it everyone or just friends of friends? So you have two levels of filtering. The basic level of filtering is it recommends mostly friends or people whom you know would be able to send you messages. When you say strict filtering, it's mostly just friends. You will not get messages from people whom you don't know on Facebook. This is a second layer of protection that you can place. The second option that I am trying to show you here is who can send you the message. It would be friends of friends, which would be everyone on Facebook, or friends of friends. This also restricts who can contact you on Facebook. Moving on, controlling the privacy of the about section. About section, I'm sure you know what the about section is. It's basically information about you. Let's see how do you go about it. Now, when you click on, this is your Facebook profile. When you click on About section on your Facebook profile, you have your contact and your basic information. So this has your information like your email. Email is something that is hidden from your timeline all the time, but you have other details like you have your phone number, you can add your address, you can add your other accounts, you can add your website. This also contains your basic information like your date of birth, your year of birth, your gender. This all can be edited, but this is generally there on Facebook. People can search using your email address or your telephone number on Facebook. If this is something that is not known, please make a note of this. Facebook makes it easy for people to look up for you on Facebook using your email address or your phone number. Uh, they could also use the same details to log into your account, so you can prevent this from happening. So coming to the control, where you can put an control on who can find you on Facebook using your email address and phone number. How to go about it is you go to the settings, and there you can make changes to the accounts. So you can basically, who can look me up, if you can look at the option here, You can look up using your email address to your friends. So who can do it is your friends. Only your friends would be allowed to look up for you using your email address or your phone number. This needs to be edited. Facebook basically allows you to search you using your phone number, but that needs to be that's completely in your control as to how do you go about doing it. If you put your phone number on Facebook profile, anybody can find your details, or the location, or basically can find your location by just typing your number in Facebook search bar, despite your privacy settings. And your details could be misused by cyber criminals. We have seen instances of that in the past where people who are in the habit of checking in different locations, they are revealing their presence across the internet, even to cyber criminals. With this security loophole, the person with the right knowledge can harvest the non-private details of a user who allows public access to their phone numbers, enabling the harvesters to then use or sell the user details for purposes that the user may not be happy with. Despite notifying Facebook in April calling for APIs to be encrypted, the security loopholes remain intact, leaving the website's 1.4 billion users open to hacking attacks. So, looking at how do you control, separate private settings for email and phone number. So you can restrict it to friends, so at least you are restricting the access to people whom you know will not misuse this for you. You can also prevent search engines from linking search results to your timeline when people search your name. You can do this by keeping the option unchecked. So when you are in the section which says who can look me up on the search engines, this checkbox here, don't keep it checked, uncheck this checkbox, because when checked, this allows search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile, which means that your profile will be exposed to the world wide web with your consent. So don't do that. Know your account when it is accessed from an unknown device. Very important thing that you need to consider. How do you go about it? So whenever you are on your account, just click on settings. Once you click on settings, there is a page which talks about login alerts. This is in this security section. So when you are in the settings, the first option is general, second is security. Click on the security settings, you get an option which says talks about login alerts. Edit this so that you can get an alert when anyone logs into your account from a new device or browser. So this way you have notifications as to who's accessing your account when and where, and you can restrict it that way. When you talk about notifications, you can get notifications on Facebook and also on your email. So whichever email you have registered, you can get email login alerts, and that will be sent to your personal your email address, stating that a specific computer or a specific mobile phone has been accessing your Facebook account from XYZ location. This is a very secure way of knowing if somebody is using your account, with or without your consent. Next thing, how does Quick Heal protect you from some social networking threats, which threats that kind of attack you without your knowledge? Let's look at the first one. So Quick Heal helps mitigating the risks of social networking threats with these defense mechanisms that are inbuilt in the Quick Heal software. First one is web security. It automatically blocks phishing and infected websites that are designed to steal your personal information or infect your system with malware. So your basic level of security that also includes the anti-malware. This recognizes websites or recognizes programs that could be automatically downloaded and it would infect your system with or without your knowledge. So these actions may be performed without your consent, but in case that happens, this particular feature protects you against it. Email security. It proactively blocks spam and phishing emails that try to trick you into visiting bogus or infected websites. Core protection. This is the main strength of the software. It detects and blocks worms. Now, worms, Trojans, spywares, these are all belong to the family of malware. Malware programs, as I've explained it earlier, these are programs to which are created by these cyber criminals to extract information from you, or basically gain a control to your website so that they can use your computer for any of their hacking attacks. Maybe use your computer or your PC like a botnet to serve into their DDoS attacks, which is denial of service attacks, when they wish to perform it. So this core protection protects you against these attacks that a malware might imply to your computer. The most important is browser sandbox. When you run your internet browsers into a virtual environment using the browser sandbox, this particular feature blocks malicious files that may automatically get downloaded to your PC and affect your PC. So browser sandbox is basically the same concept which has been taken from a sandbox, where you let the child play in the sandbox. So whatever playful act that the child does in that sandbox remains in the sandbox and doesn't spill out and come into outside that box. So the same concept applies here. Whatever programs get downloaded without your consent or with your consent remains in that sandbox environment, and the moment you close the session, everything is back to normal. Your PC is virtually unaffected by this. This brings us to the end of today's webinar. In case you have any questions about this webinar, we can ask us in this question session that we would start now. In case you have questions for later, as I've said earlier, you can write to us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in. You can follow us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/quickhealav, on our Twitter handle, which is twitter.com/quickheal. If you'd like to follow us on our Google Plus page, the bit.ly URL is bit.ly/quickheal Google Plus. The YouTube channel on which this webinar video recording would be hosted is youtube.com/quickheal. This presentation would be hosted on SlideShare. The address is slideshare.net/quickhealppts. To know more about Quickheal products, please visit quickheal.com. To know more about the security world, visit us at blogs.quickheal.com. I would request all the attendees of today's webinar to share their opinion, share your feedback in the survey, which would be shared with you post this session. We would now begin with the question and answer session. Okay, let me bring up the questions. Okay, we have a question from one of the attendees in the webinar, Mr. Ramamurthy. Sometimes we receive friend requests from unknown people. Uh, is this also some sort of threat, or is this some kind of request that you should ignore or reject? Well, Mr. Ramamurthy, I would like to share with you a practice that was taught to all of us, probably, like kids. Especially, as kids, we were always taught that you don't open doors to strangers. You don't accept any gifts or any food items or any mithai or get chocolates or anything from unknown people, and you do not speak with strangers who are trying to put you into a conversation. There were specific reasons why this was told, because you never know what is the intent of the person. It could be that the person is a genuine person, is a good person. Quite possible, quite possible. The world is full of good people, but the world also has some cyber criminals. I know this is an instance where there are, five bad people amongst 100, but that kind of brings us, a sense of insecurity when speaking to people. So, a rule of thumb is, in case you get any friend request from a person who's unknown, you have an option of checking if you have common friends. If I get an friend request from a total stranger, I may not accept that as a friend request. But if that stranger has any of my friends as a common friend, then probably what I can do is I can get in touch with that common friend and ask him if I have received a friend request from this XYZ person. Does he know the person in real life? If he does, and he recommends that you be friends with the person, you can go ahead and request the friend request. I hope this answers your question, sir. Okay, we have another question from Mayank. How to know if my PC has been hacked? Well, if your PC is being hacked, your PC would perform abnormally. Normally, if your PC, does not, it's a normal PC would behave normally, but an abnormal PC, an infected PC, would have unnecessary pop-ups. It would run unnecessary programs. It would run slower, very slower. It would consume a lot of memory. It would start functions abruptly. When you're trying to use uh, maybe a Microsoft program, your webcam may turn up all of a sudden. Now, these are instances where, you know these and many like these, thousands and hundred thousands of instances like these are indications that the security of your PC is compromised. So there are protection mechanisms against it. Always keep your software updates patched. Always keep your antivirus updated and patched. These are the different ways in which you can protect yourself from these attacks. See, once your account is or once your PC is infected with a malware, the damage is already done. So protection before the malware attack happens is very important here. So these are the small things that could give out if the security of your PC has been compromised or not. We have another comment from one of our attendees in today's webinar, Tejas. Thank you, Tejas, for giving us this tip. So, Tejas says that survey scams mostly come across from uh, websites which offer you downloading pirated, or basically what you can say is illegal softwares and games. So yes, this is also a technique that is used by cyber criminals, where they give you softwares for free, but that software is compromised. That software is unpatched. The security of that software is compromised because they have made changes to the software using a backdoor entry to the software, and this is a vulnerability that has been exposed. This way, once you install that software on your computer, on your PC, your laptop, they have an access to controlling the security of your device. So your security is compromised there. So yeah, this is a good tip from Tejas. Thank you. We have another question from user. What are the signs indicating that your account is getting hacked? So to answer this question, we've also been asked this question in the past. Uh, if you get any comments from your friends saying that hey you are getting some uh, obsolete or obscene messages from email messages from your friends, or if you get complaints that there is a spam emails coming from your particular account, this is a clear indicative that your account has been hacked, because spammers or the cyber criminals use these hacked email accounts to send spam emails to people in your contact list, which genuinely people would not believe that these uh, emails would not be from a genuine person. So these kind of are a giveaways where you can know if your email account has been hacked. The same happens with your Facebook profile. If your Facebook profile posts obscene pictures or spread spam messages to your friends inboxes, then it's a clear indicative that the security of your Facebook account has been compromised. Vineet has asked us a question. Does our Facebook chat gets deleted from Facebook servers, or does it remain there forever? Well, Vineet, there are options where the chat history remains in the Facebook server for a stipulated amount of time, but it's a digital footprint at the end of the day. So whatever stays on whatever is done on Facebook remains there forever. So it has a digital imprint that can last forever. It cannot be taken out. Uh, I have another question. How to get rid of unknown friend requests? Well, this is a problem that has been even reported in the past. Whenever you get friend requests from somebody whom you don't want to be friends with, you can either uh, report the person, you can either ignore the request. You have an option there saying ignore. Further, you can also report the person saying that you don't want to be friends with that person. If once that is done, you will not receive friend requests from that person forever. Uh, Things that you should not post on social media, especially Facebook. A very important question that is being asked here. Things that you should not post on Facebook or social media for that reason. Things that you would repent for. You know, I remember an instance where uh, somebody whom I knew had vented out their anger on their boss, saying that my boss is stupid, I hate him, and he'd put that on Facebook. And the moment I realized he's put it on Facebook, I just called him up. I told him that this is what you have done. Unfortunately, your boss is on your friend list, so you should remove that post right away. The boss had not seen the post, so fortunately he got saved. But saying things like this on social media channels would have very drastic results. So you need to be careful about what are you sharing on social media sites. You need to be very careful about it. So yeah, to answer, I think this answers your question. Your personal opinion, don't put it on Facebook. You can put it, if you're putting out some personal private information, keep it only to yourself. You have an option I've shown you in the presentation as to how do you keep your posts to yourself, information to be revealed to yourself. Uh, I have another very important question asked by Vijay. How to identify if the survey that has come to you is come from a fake, uh, is the survey fake or is it a genuine survey? So I do receive even genuine survey requests and also fake survey requests. The most important giveaway of these surveys is I'll recollect one that came to me last month. They said you complete this 50 page 50 question survey and you will definitely win a MacBook Air for free. Now, I asked myself a question. It's a simple yes or no 50 question survey for which somebody is willing to give me a MacBook Air, which is, uh, I, I, I guess it's close to $1,000 or more than $1,000 device for free. Does it sound fake to you? To me, yes, it sounds fake. So I kind of ignored that email. I put that in my junk box and I reported that email as spam. I got rid of that email. So it's a complete giveaway that very luring kind of gifts or prizes are given these surveys, which is a giveaway saying that this is a false survey. Although I get surveys from Apple or Microsoft regarding their products or their software that I've used. Normally, these surveys are very small, may or may not have a gratification for participating in that survey. This is a giveaway that this is from a genuine company. Also, you can know from the kind of questions that have been asked. If it is relevant to a product that you have purchased or relevant to a service that you have experienced, like I had bought something from the e-commerce website. I got a survey feedback from survey request from them saying that, hey, would you please rate our services? Well, this is kind of a genuine because I know that I've bought something from them and this is what they have been requesting. So yes, this is a giveaway for that. Coming to the next question. Okay, we have a question. How safe is it to upload profile photos and other photos on Facebook? Well, this is again a very important thing that you need to remember. Things that you don't wish for people to see on Facebook, don't put it there. There are photos which you want to share it only with your friends, put it on Facebook, and as I've explained it to you earlier, put make the account changes which will show your posts only to your friends, only to people whom you want to share it with. You can do this on Facebook. So if you want to put up photos which can be shared with your friends, yeah, you can do it and make the settings to share the post only with your friends. This will solve the problem. Between desktops, laptops, mobile phones, which are the safest of all devices to access Facebook? Okay. Well, you can access Facebook from any of these devices. There are few things to remember here. Whenever you log into the Facebook account, make sure the page is encrypted. And whenever you have finished your use of Facebook, make sure you log out. Just don't close the page. Just don't shut down the app. Just log out from the app. This way you are safe and you ensure that the security of your app is always protected. If you're using it on your mobile phone, your Android phone especially, or any of the mobile phones, smartphones these days, make sure your phone is protected. It has a password so that no other person can access your Facebook account without your permission. Uh, We have a question from Manjot. Uh, if I use the Quick Heals banking browser, so you mean Save Banking app, and share information with Quick Heal, does it share information with Quick Heal or technical staff? If I do Save Banking, does my card information get stored anywhere? Okay, Manjot, to answer your question, the safe browsing, the safe banking option, which is provided in Quick Heal software, this is provided to keep your information safe and encrypted from any of the hackers or any malware. So this information does not get stored anywhere. The information, when you enter it, gets encrypted. So whatever information you put in there, which may be your login credentials to your internet banking, or your credit card or your debit card number, and the other authentication uh, information, that all is kept safe from everyone. It does not get stored anywhere. It does not come to quick heal. It just stays encrypted, so that even if an hacker tries to attack and tries to reveal that information, whatever you have shared, he gets nothing out of it. Okay, he gets all junk. So I hope this answers your question. Uh, we have a question from Vijay. How to ensure that our mobile phones are safe from hackers, as these mobile phones contains a lot of personal information. Vijay, I do agree with your concern, but I think this is not the right forum for us to discuss that. We have done a webinar in the past. You can find the video on our YouTube channel. This is about how to make sure that your mobile phone is safe from hacking. If you can find that video, you can find that video on our YouTube channel. In case you don't, please write to us and we will share you the link to the video. You can watch the webinar. Prashant Kumar has asked a question, although this is not relevant to today's topic, but he's asked a question about, is it safe to use cracked softwares? The answer is definitely no. Cracked softwares are basically softwares which have been compromised in the security aspect of that software by gaining backdoor entry to the software. So this is actually an exposed vulnerability which will give you the access to malwares or hackers to hack into your computer once this cracked software is installed on your PC. So the answer is no. Cracked softwares are unsafe to use on your computer. Okay, how to deal when you think that your Facebook account is hacked? Very important question. If you think your Facebook account is being hacked or compromised, or if somebody is trying to use your Facebook, please go to the security on Facebook. It's facebook.com/security, where you can report to Facebook if somebody is using your Facebook account without your permission, or somebody is trying to impersonate you. Also, we've come across these questions in the past where people have asked us if somebody is trying to impersonate them on Facebook. There are ways you can report to Facebook and prove that you are the credible person, the genuine account holder, and Facebook will remove or delete the account which is the impersonator for you. Okay, this question from Suresh Kumar. How can we know that the update from a third-party software like a Flash player is a genuine one or not? So whenever you find an update where it gives you a pop-up for using Flash players, and whenever you click on that, it first thing it will take you to the Adobe's website directly, because all the updates would come from the original maker or creator of that software technology. Secondly, whenever you are installing any programs, there is a publisher information always present there. So if you are installing any software or any update, it will show you that this is such and such a company or a person is a publisher of this information. So for example, if there is any software that you're installing which is from Microsoft or from Adobe or from Quickheal, it will say that the publisher of that technology is the correct owner. The biggest giveaway is when you know when this publisher is unknown. When the publisher is unknown, you should not proceed in that matter and install that software, because that could be a case where it could be a malware infected software, or it could be a hacker who's created this software so that you can install it and he can gain control of your computer later. Okay, as anyone can save or download a user's photo, how should one prevent this? It's a question, very important question that is being asked. If you are using your own photograph on Facebook and you don't want people to basically see your Facebook, as I've told you, keep your settings, privacy settings strong, so that people who are not associated with you, people whom you don't know in person, do not get into your friends list, and your photographs are restricted to your friends. Information or photos that you don't want to be put on Facebook, please don't, just remove them from there. Just don't put up photographs you don't want others to see. It's a very very important thing that you should remember. uh, uh, Okay, so this is a question about the Quick Heal Sandbox feature. So the Quick Heal Sandbox feature is not restricted to safe banking or any, it's basically for any or any World Wide Web related content that you're surfing on the internet. It is for that. So the web security, basically the browser security, helps you in case where you are browsing some content on the internet and you accidentally click on any link, and if that clicking on the link has an action where a software gets downloaded to your computer, this browser sandbox keeps that software downloaded in a virtual environment and does not let it come to your PC directly. It will ask your permission if you want to download the software to your PC. If you say yes, then only it will download that software to your PC. So basically this helps you protect against accidental clicks. So accidentally click something and something gets downloaded, you can prevent that. Once you close the session, everything is wiped off clean. So in case even if there is an accidental download, accidental click, and the download happens which is without your information, and you close the browser session, everything goes back to normal. So this is the way you are protected. Okay, we have a question here from one of our attendees. Uh, every day we see there are posts on Facebook against the Facebook community standards. There are obscene photos, anti-religious contents, hate speech, etc. And yeah, Facebook does give us an option to report them these kind of posts uh, to, to but Facebook does not remove it after reporting it many times. Okay. The way it works, that the way I do it is whenever I see such content on Facebook, I see if that has come from somebody whom I know in person. And I, if it is somebody who is not, uh, a person that I would like to be friends with, because I do not would like to be friends with people who do hate speech or who talk about, things which is not in favor of your country, which is not patriotic, or which is basically obscene. I would not like to be friends with people who are promoting such kind of things. So I would defriend them. But yes, as you said it correctly, you can report it to Facebook, and if such kind of a post has been reported multiple people, then Facebook does remove that content if it is obscene. So this is not an automated process. Uh, so this may take some time, but definitely yes. If it is something that is not liked by a majority, this content will be removed, because at the end of the day, it is social networking. If it is antisocial, it has to go out of that system. I hope this answers your question. Vineet has asked us a question: is it safe to log in Facebook from gaming apps? Vineet, basically, when you're logging in Facebook from gaming apps, you're basically giving access to that game to control what information has been posted on Facebook regarding that game. A lot of times I receive, people who love playing games on Facebook, especially friends. These games specially keep on sending me, uh, feeds which talk about, your scores on the game, and I should participate. This is kind of annoying at times. So when you log into these Facebook apps, Facebook games, these games basically send out message to your friends, which is not really liked by a lot of people. So you kind of became a center of disattraction, I would say, because people would not like getting spam messages from you, in this regard. Okay, I think we are done with today's questions here. I would request all the attendees of today's webinar to share your feedback in the survey that we'll be sharing now, post this session with you. Thank you very much for joining us in today's webinar. I would now hand over the mic uh, to Saurabh to conclude the proceedings.
Thank you everyone for being with us for this webinar on 5 tips to make your Facebook account hack proof. We hope this webinar has helped you understand how to keep your Facebook account secure. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.